I still remember the way my back pressed against the kitchen wall, my legs trembling, and the powerful shadow of Marcus Reed. His hands gripped my waist, not gently, and his voice was like thunder when he told me to turn around. I did, without a word, pressing my palms against the wall. He lifted my skirt without hesitation, and I gasped not from fear, but from the sheer size of what I felt between my thighs, thick, hot, and overwhelming. I told him I wasn't ready. He growled, "You'll take it all." And I did, every inch, biting my lips so hard I tasted blood. My heart pounded like it was trying to escape the sin. But there was no guilt then, just heat, just need, just Marcus. To all my loyal subscribers, a heartfelt thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're the reason this channel exists. And to all the new and returning viewers who haven't subscribed yet, I can't wait for you to hit that button. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. My name is Sophie Lane, and I never imagined life would unfold like this. I'm 37, freshly divorced, trying to start over in a quiet suburban apartment complex just outside Atlanta. I moved into a small one-bedroom, just enough space for me and my regrets. Life was supposed to get easier after the divorce. Instead, it got lonelier, colder. Marcus Reed, my property manager, was a tall, dark, chiseled man with a confidence that made you think he could charm the stars out of the sky. He drove a black Dodge Charger, gold chains glinting against his skin, and smiled like he knew every secret a woman ever tried to hide. At first, I didn't pay him much mind until rent was due. It was the 5th of the month, and I'd just gotten home from a long shift at the diner. Sweaty, exhausted, with my bank account sitting at negative $2,357. I knew Marcus would show up. He always did when someone was late. His knock came, heavy and deliberate. I opened the door slowly, my body already tight with anxiety. There he stood, white t-shirt, gold chains, fitted jeans, and that look. He said he knew I had nothing to give him. I stammered. "I just need a little time." He stepped inside without asking. "You think time keeps my lights on?" His voice was calm but sharp, like a blade wrapped in velvet. I swallowed hard. "I'll have it by next week. I promise." He shut the door behind him, stepping closer as I backed away. "Sophie," he said, "I could evict you today, but I won't. You know why?" I shook my head. "Because you've got something more valuable than rent." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" His eyes roamed down to my hips, then back to my face. "You're a grown woman. I'm a grown man. Let's not play dumb. I should have kicked him out. I should have slapped him." But I froze, because deep down, I wasn't shocked. I saw the hunger in his eyes, the heat, and worse. I felt it too. "I can't," I whispered. He stepped closer. "Yes, you can." His hand brushed my cheek. I flinched but didn't move. When his lips met mine, something inside me snapped. We kissed, fierce and hungry, like we'd been starving for it. His hands were everywhere. My blouse hit the floor in seconds. I gasped, dizzy, overwhelmed. Wait, Marcus, I'm not ready. You'll take it all, he said again, gripping my hips. And I did. Right there in the kitchen. He bent me over the counter, slid my panties aside, and pushed into me with a slow, deliberate thrust that buckled my knees. I cried out, not from pain but from the shock of how deep, how full he felt. I'd never been filled like that in my life. He held my waist, moving with a rhythm that rattled the dishes in the cabinets. Each thrust echoed through the walls. I moaned so loudly I thought the neighbours might hear, but I didn't care. I wanted more, deeper, harder, like a woman possessed. When it was over, I slid down the wall, my legs too weak to hold me. He zipped up, looked down at me, and said, "Rent's covered for the month." Then he walked out. I sat there, half naked, heart pounding, thighs still trembling, thinking, what the hell did I just do? But deep down, I knew I'd do it again. I didn't sleep that night. I lay tangled in my sheets, still smelling Marcus on my skin, my lips swollen, my mind reeling. I kept replaying every moment in that kitchen, his movements, his voice, the way my body responded like it had been waiting for him all along. I should have felt ashamed. I should have cried. Instead, I touched myself under the sheets, whispering his name as I came again, alone this time. The next morning, I tried to act normal. I showered, brushed my hair, put on my diner uniform, and went to work like nothing happened. But something had shifted. I walked differently, sat differently, thought differently, and Marcus knew it. He was leaning against his Charger in the parking lot when I got home that evening, like he'd been waiting. His eyes locked onto mine, and my legs felt weak again. "Upstairs," he said. I hesitated. "Marcus, about what happened?" He opened his apartment door and walked in without answering. I followed. His place smelled of expensive cologne and weed, a half-empty Hennessy bottle on the table, a joint smouldering in the ashtray. The lights were low, R&B playing softly from a speaker in the corner. He poured me a drink and handed it to me. "What's this?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "This is the new arrangement," he said simply. "You come when I call. You give me what I want. I make sure you stay in your place, rent-free." My stomach twisted. Sounds like a deal. He cut me off. A deal that works for both of us. You want to keep waiting tables and scraping by. Be my guest. Or you can let a real man take care of you. I stared at him, the glass heavy in my hand. He was serious. And I hated that part of me wanted to say yes. "Why me?" I asked. He chuckled. "Because you look like everything I shouldn't touch, soft blonde hair, clean cut. But that mouth of yours says something else. And your body, baby, your body begs for it." My cheeks flushed, but I couldn't deny it, not after the way I'd moaned for him the night before. He stepped behind me, hands on my hips, whispering in my ear, "Tell me no. I dare you." But I couldn't. He bent me over his kitchen table this time, lifting my skirt like it was routine now. I didn't fight it. I wanted it, craved it, needed it. He went deeper, gripped tighter, and I moaned louder. He pulled my hair back, whispering the filthiest things in my ear. I answered with gasps and cries that echoed through his apartment. When we finished, I lay on the floor, sweat dripping from my brow, trembling again. He lit another joint and handed it to me. I took a drag, the burn welcome in my lungs. "This is how it works now," he said. "No questions, no strings. You come when I call, and in return, you're safe, paid for." I nodded. I'd crossed the line already. What was the point of pretending I still had morals? For the next 2 weeks, we fell into a rhythm. Every knock at my door, I answered, sometimes barely dressed. Every time he walked in, he took what he wanted, and I gave it on the floor, on the couch, against the window. Once, even on the stairwell with the front door wide open. I should have felt degraded, but I felt alive. Then, at the diner, my co-worker Jenna leaned in close while I was wiping down tables. "You seeing someone?" she asked. I froze. "You're glowing." She giggled and walked off. I tried to laugh it off, but she kept watching me, studying me. I knew I wasn't hiding it well. That night, Marcus showed up with a different tone. "I want you to stop talking to other guys," he said. "You're mine now." I blinked. I thought there were no strings. He backed me against the wall again, the same spot where he first took me. But this time, it was slower, gentler, more intimate. He looked into my eyes as he moved inside me, kissed my forehead, touched my face. It scared me more than anything, because I started wanting him, not just his body, but him. Then came the shock. A week later, I came home to a note taped to my door. "You're not the only one." No signature, just those words. I rushed to Marcus's apartment, heart pounding. "Who else are you seeing?" I demanded. He looked at me, amused. "You really think you're the only one I care about?" My world tilted. "You said I was yours." He smirked. "I never said I was yours." That night, I cried until I fell asleep. But when he knocked the next night, I still opened the door, still opened. I should have locked it, pulled the curtains, turned off the lights, and let the shame swallow me. But I didn't. Marcus walked in, and like every time before, I melted. My heart pounded like it was trapped in a fist. I hated him for what he said. Hated his smugness for making me feel like an option. But more than anything, I hated that I still wanted him. He kissed me like nothing had happened. Like the note on my door was my imagination. Like the hollow ache in my chest meant nothing. This time, I let him take me on the balcony. The night air cool on my skin. His hands burning everywhere they touched. He gripped my waist, pressed me against the railing, whispering things that curled my toes and rolled my eyes back. I moaned into the open air, too far gone to care who heard, too broken to stop it. Afterward, I sat wrapped in a blanket, my cigarette trembling between my fingers. "Am I really just another one?" I whispered. Marcus shrugged. "You want honesty? You were supposed to be a one-time thing, a pretty little rent dodger with a sweet mouth. But you kept coming back. And you're addictive. But I never promised love. Sophie. And that was the problem. I never asked for love, but my heart went and caught fire anyway. The next day, I started pulling away. I stopped answering his texts, stopped opening the door when he knocked. I even started flirting with Elliot, a quiet, bookish barista at the coffee shop near the diner. He barely made eye contact but looked at me like I wasn't something to use. Elliot took me out for tacos, held the door, laughed at my dumb jokes, told me I was beautiful without an agenda. For a moment, I remembered who I used to be, who I could still be. Until Marcus found out. I came home one evening to find him standing inside my apartment. He had a key. Of course he did. You think I'm going to let you play house with some white boy who smells like espresso? He growled. Get out, I said, backing away. You don't own me. His smile turned colder. You're right. I don't own you. But I own this building. And you owe me. He stepped closer. You want to pay what you owe, all at once. With interest I stared, stunned. You said the rent was covered. He laughed, sharp and loud. That was before you started acting brand new. I wanted to scream, cry, throw something. But I stood frozen. Fine, I said. I'll move. He grinned. You can't. Your lease locks you in for 6 more months. And baby, no court's gonna side with a broke blonde waitress over me. That night, I realized something terrifying. Marcus wasn't just a lover or a landlord. He was a trap. And I'd walked right into it. For 2 weeks. I avoided him at every turn. Elliot stayed over sometimes. We watched movies, kissed like teenagers. And I told myself I could keep going. Until the night Marcus saw us together. It was late. After a shift. And Elliot and I were laughing in the hallway when Marcus stepped out of the shadows. He didn't say a word, just stared at me. Elliot kissed my cheek and went inside my apartment. I stood outside, facing Marcus like I was bracing for war. You don't get to be jealous, I said. You lost that right? I never lost anything. He replied. You're still here. You're still mine. He reached out, tucking my hair behind my ear, his fingers lingering. I can make things very uncomfortable for your little boyfriend, he whispered. Or for you. Wonder what your boss would think if I mentioned you rearranging furniture with your landlord for rent discounts. My blood ran cold. You wouldn't... He smirked. Try me, that night. I broke things off with Elliot. He didn't understand. Begged me to tell him what was wrong. I couldn't. Not without dragging him into the hell I'd built. I cried for hours after he left. The next time Marcus came, I let him in like nothing had happened. I let him move me, bend me, whisper everything I'd ever craved. But I didn't respond, staring at the ceiling, numb as a corpse. When he finished, he noticed. What is this? He asked. Where's that fire? I looked into his eyes and said, She's dead. You killed her. He left quietly that night. No words, no kiss. He didn't come back for days. I used those days to pack, to plan, I scraped together cash, begged my boss for an advance, and found a woman online willing to rent out her spare room 2 towns over. She didn't ask questions. She needed the rent money. I needed the escape. One night, when Marcus was gone, I moved out quietly, quickly. No goodbyes. I left behind my bed, my couch, my shame but not the scars. Because the truth is, I never really escaped him. Not the memory of his touch. Not the emptiness he left. Not the version of myself I lost along the way. If you've made it to the end of my story, I'm so grateful for you. Do you think Sophie made the right choice by leaving? Even if it was late, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you want more raw stories like this. Your support keeps this channel alive.